To whom it may concern. Although the past 6 years have been relatively pleasant, ups and downs to be sure, I've reached a time in my life where I've been asking myself some big questions. Why am I here? Is this the real purpose of my life? Am I doing what's best for me? What's the point? I could stay here for another 10 years, but the nagging voice in the back of my mind would get louder and louder to the point of total and utter deafness. I've also started to become concerned about my mental state of health. I've recently purchased 3 acres of land, as well as a small cottage down south. I've decided to be a smallholder. I'll work the land, raise animals, and hopefully find a wife. City life in this toxic work environment just isn't working for me, so please consider this my 3 weeks' notice. Although I have no farming experience, I'm sure I'll pick it up in no time. I mean, how hard can it be? Yours sincerely, Karl. The farm next door would grow over 10,000 head of corn. The place down the old gravel road would produce over 2 ton of tomatoes this season. Miss June across the river would this year produce enough lettuce and zucchini to feed a small village. The weather would be perfect for a half-skilled farmer to grow enough food to feed his family and make more than enough money on the side to enjoy a new car and a family holiday down the coast. Karl lost 3 pigs, 8 chickens, 1 goat, and somehow burnt down the stream that ran beside his small 3-acre section. He had decided that rural life was the only option available to him. City life and all of its trappings had left him empty, alone, and spiritually broken. If he didn't make it work here, well, what was left? By hell or high water, he would learn how to work the earth, raise livestock, and God willing, find the answers to life. It seemed to him that every other day was a struggle. Sometimes the winds of a good mood would blow through his hair. Other days, dark clouds of confusion would blow him off his pushbike. That tight feeling you get in your stomach when you know things aren't right had become so persistent that for Karl, this was now his default. How does one even burn down a stream? Not a day went by that first year that he didn't think about it. A crazy thought that just kept popping up out of nowhere. Sure, friends were made, adventures were undertaken, and more often than not, the decision to move to the country always seemed like the right choice. However, one disaster after another slowly weighed down on him. Losing his goat was a sharp blow to the mid-region, as he really felt like they had made a connection after the Bale incident. Clearly, the goat felt nothing. This lowered Karl's mood once again. This, my friend, is just a brief overview of a situation we find our lead actor in. His name is Karl, and he's moved to the country to try and make a go of things. Now don't rush to any conclusions and think him a depressive type. Sure, he has his down days like everyone, but generally he has an optimistic outlook. He enjoys woodwork and wading in the sea, he flies kites when the weather permits, and he isn't one to shy away from a good game of frisbee. So I feel what follows should be seen from his point of view and not our own. Not unlike watching a film, we may question decisions and scream down the page yelling at Karl to go left instead of right, or do this instead of that. Trust me, it won't help, as it's all been played out and the ending is already written. That's not to say that it couldn't have happened some other way. But Karl, just like me, urges you not to focus on what is, but embrace the here and now. Because that's all we really have.